Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of S&M Radio. I'm Shanon.
And I am Mark.
And this time, we are talking about...
the biggest disappointment of 2016 so far.
The greatest movie of the year. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about a recent horror movie that just came out that one of us really liked, and the other one, I would be willing to bet it's safe to say, was horribly disappointed in, and that is The Witch.
I don't think I was... I guess I wasn't thinking it was going to be like the best experience ever. I wasn't like, oh gosh, this is going to be the greatest movie ever or greatest movie of the year. But I was definitely like, it was definitely less than I expected. So I was disappointed. That's definitely a good way to put it.
So just to give everybody quick plot line real quick. This movie is based in the 1600s in New England, where this family leads a devout Christian life on their homestead, which they are out in the middle of really the wilderness, and they have their 5 kids, and they have a newborn son. And the very beginning of the movie, their newborn son disappears, their crops fail. The family begins fighting with each other. And basically this whole movie is based around this family and the hardships of this family. The kids are blaming the oldest daughter in the family, claiming that she's a witch. And then the parents are kind of like, are you a witch? And so then it all kind of unravels from there. And there's all this evil stuff happens throughout the movie. And I don't want to give too much of it away because it is a brand new movie. It's only been out for a couple of weeks, so.
No, just give it away.
But I originally wasn't expecting anything going into this movie because for those of you that know me, and not just horror movies, but any new movies that come out, outside of watching the trailer of those movies, unless it's something that is based off of a book or some sort of other publication like a comic book or a story of some kind, I typically don't do too much digging into the movie outside of watching the trailer, especially in this day and age, because you can get every spoiler, every line of every movie typically long before it even comes to the theater. So I wasn't really anticipating much of what to expect with this movie when it was coming out. And then when it was first released, the weekend that it was released, which was 2 weeks ago from us recording this, all of a sudden on Facebook and a couple of other places that I follow, there was sort of mixed reviews, I guess you would say. People were like, oh, I just got back from The Witch. I was horribly disappointed. And then other people were saying, oh, I just got back from The Witch. It was great.
Well, I'll just let you know, everybody groaned at the end of my experience at the theater while I was there. Everybody was like, what? At the end of that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was an audible groan when everybody left. Everybody was very unhappy.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me. Yeah, the problem with this movie for me, it was like old King James Bible talk. So it was a lot of ye's and these and therefores and thous. And I could not understand a word anybody was saying. It was literally, I like every other word I caught. And then the people's names, like the character names, I didn't even fully understand. I don't even know for sure, what those names were. They were very strange. Wasn't it what was one was the girl was Tomas or something? Am I right?
Thomason,
that's right. And then and I just couldn't understand what anybody was saying. It was I wish there was subtitles or something, because I could not. So I'm kind of piecing together what's going on. I mean, at the beginning, clearly the family is in some sort of they're getting ready to leave the colony that they're part of for I don't know why, but they are, and I didn't understand that completely. And then they live off the land and they move out to the kind of like a prairie area near a forest, and then they're like kind of talking and stuff, and I catch like maybe every other word is English. What's going on here? And then so you're just kind of basing it on like the visual stuff, because I just could not follow the dialogue. That was tough for me. It really was tough for me, that dialogue. That old English type stuff was just, man.
So what I'm hearing from you is if you got a copy of this movie that was dubbed over in modern English, you would be, oh, that's what's going on. Cool.
Probably not. Now, here's the thing. I dig the supernatural stuff. I like the witch concept. I think that's really cool. I like mythology. I have a personal fascination with old mythology and biblical things like that. I find it really, really interesting. But at the same time, I just think it's like a story that could have been really good, but like the way this particular story unfolded, and I didn't even really care for like the whole. So like the first thing that happens, I know you don't want to spoil anything, but it's really, really disturbing, and it does set the tone for the story. Like it's like, yeah, that's creepy, okay. But after that happens, what would follow that like never like seems to live up to it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So going back to what I was saying before about me never wanting to have any spoilers or anything, because me and you had originally talked about going to possibly seeing this movie together, like we had with a couple of movies recently, and that didn't end up working out. And so me and one of my daughters, we had made plans to go see it on a Friday, so we went and saw it on a Friday, which was just a couple of days before you went and saw it, or the day before you went and saw it, I think.
Yeah, I think I saw it on a Saturday.
But my wife works with a lady who's a horror fan, and she went and saw this movie, and like you, came out of it not liking it. Mm-hmm. So she told my wife, I would tell your husband not to go see the movie because she didn't like it. And like I had said before, I was kind of reading these like groans about it on Facebook and Instagram and a couple other places. And again, I wasn't really doing too much digging into it, but I had come across inadvertently one of the reasons that people didn't like it was because of kind of not just because of they couldn't understand it, like you had said, that being the only reason why you didn't like it, but that was a big reason of why people didn't like it was because they couldn't understand what they were saying. And to my benefit, I have a wife who loves like all of these like period English movies. So I watch a lot of, like kind of in passing, I see a lot of like Jane Austen type stuff and, all this stuff. So them talking in that ye and thou and thee kind of stuff wasn't that confusing to me because I kind of was able to pick up what was going on with them just talking and stuff. But I will say, the one thing I will say without really spoiling too much with this movie is, even though this movie is classified as a horror movie, and I would kind of consider it a horror movie, even personally, but it's not one of those jump out and get you type of horror movies. If you are expecting like a Nightmare on Elm Street or a Halloween or a jump and scare you kind of horror movie, this is not it. This is more of I'm not even sure what the genre would technically, or the subgenre would be, but the movie that I have compared this to when I'm talking to other people, just like the tone of the movie is the Nicole Kidman movie, The Others, from probably whatever that was, 10, 15 years ago,
Okay.
where the whole movie is just kind of eerie throughout the whole thing, but it's not really like a kind of thing at all. I mean, it's just more just like kind of creepy settings, and it is kind of a slow burner, and there's no real huge climax. Even though I do like how the movie ended and what they did with it, I thought was very clever. And it was one of those things like when the movie got over, it's not a twist, I wouldn't say, but at the end of the movie, I was kind of like, oh.
I was hoping for more to unravel with the story. It was it didn't have that, like, it was too abstract and obscure. Like, it just didn't, like, I was hoping for a little bit more of I don't know, like a story, like a little bit, a different story, I guess.
I was hoping for more of a story.
If it was a different story, yeah. So it's basically the story, which is the gist of the movie. I just didn't like it. I just didn't care for it. And again, I thought I'm interested in this kind of stuff. I just didn't care for this particular story. And to be honest with you, I didn't really care for the characters either. Like, I mean, okay, now before I'm saying all that, but I want to preface this by saying it was extremely well acted, extremely well filmed, directed. And, the writing was spot on. Everything. I mean, this is a well-made movie by all means. This isn't like, some crappy, bargain bin film. This is, I can understand why people are talking about it and stuff. But the story to me just didn't appeal to me. And the characters didn't really appeal to me. Although, the actors were great. They did a great job. Very believable, very good, very strong performances, but after that opening or that beginning disturbing scene, which I thought was really disturbing and creepy, but like I expected it to go somewhere else, and it kind of just fell flat. And then it actually literally was one of those movies where I was like, kind of thinking to myself, how much longer do I got to sit through this?
That sucks.
I hate that, and there's, when you start doing that, you're like you've lost interest.
This time around, folks, we are in uncharted waters for this episode.
We are.
This is one of the very few times where the two of us have seen a movie that one of us, and I wouldn't say that I would absolutely come right out and say that I loved this movie, but I really liked this movie. Like I said, I went and saw it with my daughter, and as we were leaving, she liked it as well. And when we were walking out of the theater, we were like, "Did you like it?" "Yeah, I liked it." "Did you like it?" "Yeah, I thought it was great."
She liked it?
Oh yeah, she really liked it. And I even asked her too.
Really?
I'm like, "Did you understand what was going on?" "Yeah, I could understand." "You could understand what they were saying?" "Yeah." Because I knew that was kind of a thing with some people.
Well, I'll have to watch more Jane Austen movies, I guess.
After you buy this one when it comes out on DVD.
Oh, no, I'm going to pass on this one. Yeah. I've got far too many classic films to purchase before this one would make it on the list.
There's a lot of movies in the past that I would say, like, one of the examples that comes to my mind is the movie Curtains, where I'm not a huge fan of that movie. I know you like it, but even when we did the Curtains episode, whenever that was, last year or 2 years ago, by the time we got to the end of the episode, if you go back and listen to that episode, we're both kind of about the same level on it, which usually that's what happens with a lot of those movies. Another one of those movies I think would be Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
Oh, we got to do that movie. Put that on the list.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we got to get that one for sure.
But that was one of those movies that me and you, for whatever reason, loved when we were teenagers. And then
yes, we did.
We tried to watch it a couple of years ago, and we're like, "Oh God, this is horrible." But this movie, The Witch, is think this is like the first movie in a long time, if not ever, that it's me and you are completely split on.
Yeah, it is. And again, I went into it wanting to watch. You know what? Maybe it was this. I think you may have been the one who upped the ante a little bit too high and then dropped me like a lead balloon when I went to see it.
Oh, when I told you it's the smartest horror movie I've seen in years?
You compared it somehow. I remember you brought up Let Me In.
Yes.
And I think,
yes.
And then, so I was kind of like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I didn't get it. I didn't feel the let the right one in kind of vibe. I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that when you said that, because you and I really connected with that film, and I'm like, oh, great, oh, awesome, it's going to have that sort of thing about it, and then
so yeah,
I knew
did for me.
It did. Okay, yeah, it never did. I didn't like that vampire. That was one of the best vampire movies I ever saw. So I was like, oh, this might be a new take on the witch thing, and they might have that kind of characterization, and it kind of really sticks with you and you really like it, blah, blah, blah. And it just was I'm waiting to like these people, and I'm never liking them. I'm the dad's kind of homely, and he's not I don't know. It's just, I didn't really care about him. The mom was kind of weird, and the kids were those two. What about those two little kids, man?
Oh,
they look like goblins or something.
Now that you bring that up, liking the characters, thinking back on it, I can't say that I liked any of the characters in the movie. Even the main character, who is Thomason, I don't know if I liked her character. I mean, like you had said earlier, she was a great actress and stuff, but as far as usually with a great movie, you come out of the theater, think oh, I loved that person or that character or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know if I had that for the characters in this movie. Yeah,
I didn't at all. I didn't care about any of them. I was hoping they'd all get lost in the forest and the movie would end. I was like, just the whole family, just go into the forest, and then let's put the credits up, and we'll be good. Bring the goat with you too. The goat was creepy.
And you're saying this 4 minutes into the movie. Come on, go into the forest already. Go look for the kid.
Yeah, the goat was creepy. I'll say they did a good job. The goat did a great job. The goat, I will give the goat accolades. I hope to see the goat in more films.
Yeah, his career is going to take off after this.
I think so.
So, depending on which member of the S&M staff is your favorite, either you listen to me and you go see the movie, or you listen to Mark and you, I don't know, go play Nintendo or something, I guess.
Yeah, go play your classic Nintendo. Play some Super Mario Brothers, maybe some Zelda. There's a witch in Zelda, I think, or there's a warlock, or there's something in there that might be more interesting than the witch that you see in this movie.
You're thinking of Zelda from Pet Sematary.
Oh, we got to do that movie. If I haven't said that already, that's another one we got to do.
I can't remember if you said that this episode or last episode.
I think I did. Yeah, Pet Sematary is on the list, so be ready, everybody. We're going to hit that one for sure.
I was trying to think of other witch movies, and I know that there's what was the Halloween Disney movie from, I don't think we were still teenagers. We were in our 20s, but the one with Bette Midler and stuff.
Oh yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
But outside of that one, I was really struggling to think of any witch movies. I mean, I know you have The Wizard of Oz, of course, with the Wicked Witch of the West and that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I'm trying to think myself. I can't think of any either.
Snow White, of course, I guess. I mean, I guess that would be kind of a sort of a big one recently, because they had that Snow White remake a couple of years ago with Charlize Theron and what's her face from Kristen Stewart. And they're actually doing a sequel to that one called The Huntsman or something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
outside of that, I can't think of any.
Can't think of any either. Seems like there were a few back in the day, but.
But of course, we said the same thing about clown movies last year, and like a week later, then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, what about this movie? You didn't talk about this one. You didn't mention this one." Like, oh. So, if there's any witch movies out there, folks, feel free to email us or shoot us a message on Facebook or something. Let us know, because I seriously, I'm struggling to think of any witch movie, especially like a horror movie, I guess, more than anything.
I can't think of any either.
All right, everybody, I think that wraps this one up again. So, 2 thumbs up for The Witch. We'll see you later. Bye.
Oh, no.